All right, welcome back to the Alpha Athletics YouTube channel. Thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to cover push-ups and the increasingly I've seen this a lot, the penalty push-ups with practices. Now, first I want to make sure that people don't misunderstand that I'm not knocking coaches in this. I'm not knocking them at all. I'm actually going to help them. So penalty push-ups for losing games or anything of that sort, losing matches in practice, or some type of a negative reinforcement for losing or doing something, maybe misbehaving or something of that sort. So commonly there's our penalty push-ups, crunches, or sprints. That's pretty common. Let's talk about for the field of volleyball. For penalty push-ups, the good behind a push-up is shoulder stabilization, core activation, glute recruitment. There's a lot of nice things going on with a push-up. The bad behind it, I'm going to go ahead on a limb and say 90%, if not 95%, don't cover any of those three. So that is why I'm going to say that it's probably not useful to use penalty push-ups. And I'm going to give you different things to do instead. First thing, let's talk about a bad, and let's kind of have a little joke here. Let's talk about what we see in our push-ups, in our penalty push-ups. We see the butt up. Head bombers. We see the hips down, head up, looks like yoga. We see the elbow bends. And we see the head nodders. None of those achieved anything that we were looking for, except for you had to do that for a series of time because you lost. Let's get back. Let's make sure that we want to talk about too. And I have a question, real quick. I have a question. When is winning not enough? When is the simple fact of I lost that match, I lost that game in practice. Let's talk about in practice, because people are doing this after their games in tournaments or things of that sort. But teams are doing this in practice. So teams are competing in practice, and one team wins, one team loses. And penalty push-ups, penalty sit-ups, whatever it is, penalty sprints, things of that sort. That's your penalty for losing. And when did it become more than, okay, I have to do this because I lost? I think good teams and good players, losing is enough. Losing should stick with them enough. We'll go into a little bit more, but here's a quick question for you. Do you love winning or hate losing? Big distinction. I'll let you think about that one as we continue this penalty push-ups. I could go on for days about this. So penalty push-ups. When is winning not enough? So we talk about the push-up. What we're looking for in the push-up is we're looking for shoulder stabilization, core activation, glute activation. We're looking for a flat line. But we're probably not going to get that on most of our athletes. So I'm going to give you 3 things that we can do that you can change it up and use these instead. They're going to improve performance, improve stabilization, improve core activation, and glute recruitment. So we're going to use these here. You're welcome to use these with any of your practices. So we'll start with one of them, which is called an elbow tap or a shoulder tap. So what I'm looking for here is I'm going to go from a 4-point stance. So my chin is aligned, my body's aligned, and I'm just going to hold myself here. This is essentially the first part of a push-up. My hands are directly underneath my chest. I'm not out in front of me here. I'm right underneath my chest into like a tabletop position. Squeezing my heels together increases my glute activation, tightening my core, pinching like I'm trying to dig my hands into the ground, and I'm just going to hold here. This in and of itself is shoulder stabilization, and the first part that needs to be strong in order to do a push-up. So that in our program, that's our first thing we do is to test, can we hold that position, push-up plank position. Second thing, if we got from there, we can go ahead and then add what's called elbow or shoulder touches. What that's going to do is it's going to take me from a 4-point stance to a 3-point stance. 1 arm, 2 legs. Show you from here. 1 arm, 2 legs. When I pick this hand up, I become a 3-point stance. I shouldn't shift or fall over to the right. This shoulder has to stay stable. So if I understand that lock in that shoulder, I can then take this other hand, lift it up, abs are tight, abs are engaged, and touch my shoulder and put it back down. And then I can switch sides. Notice it is pretty difficult. It is pretty difficult to do. You're going to get this too. If you do implement this one, which I hope you do, you're going to get this, and you're going to get this a lot. So understand, teach them about control. Teach them about integrity. Integrity of the shoulder, integrity of themselves. You're going to get this. And they're just going to play slap arm with themselves. Spend a little time, and not too long. I don't need to sit here for 2 or 3 minutes and hold this position. Just a little bit, touch and back down. Touch and back down. So that's 2. And then the third one, if we're going to do push-ups, so just push-ups, I can give things for days. If you want to know more about it, email me, call me, contact us. But just in the push-ups, for penalty push-ups, we can then go ahead and use a leg. So we're going to change from a 3-point stance to a 2-point stance. So opposite arm, opposite leg. That's how we walk. When we walk, left, right, right, left. So it's opposite. So we're going to do the exact same thing. Let's say we have some of those athletes that aren't very good at a push-up. They're pretty close. They're pretty close, and then they die out. So let's go ahead and increase their shoulder stabilization and tighten up their core. So from here, we're going to go opposite arm, opposite leg reach. Feet shoulder width apart, hands underneath. Exact same thing. It's a building block process. Push-up plank position. I raise my left leg, and I raise my right arm. Put it back down. You can spend time here or just tap. Switch sides. That would be more advanced. So we're trying to give 3 things because, again, let's go back to the start. Why I decided to choose this YouTube video for today is penalty push-ups. They're getting pretty bad, okay? All of these things, we could laugh about these for days, but we see them all day long. That did nothing for my shoulders. If you watch where my hand placement is, my shoulders will rise. Look from here. Do this at home. Do this right now at home. I'd like you to even try this. If anybody else sees you, they'll probably laugh at you. Bring your shoulders forward, because that's what a push-up, most bad push-ups are doing, is rounding your shoulders forward. And then as a volleyball player, go ahead and try to reach your arm over your head. It doesn't work that way. So we're causing a bad movement pattern. Let's become better movers. Let's become more efficient at what we're doing, and let's become better players. Thank you.